What is acid? Acid is a chemical substance that can neutralize an aqueous. Example: carbonic acid, lactic acid. What is base? Base are substances that react with acid. Fun fact: um, aqueous is a type of basis. Example: NaOH.
Weak acid are acids that dissociates partially. Strong acid are acids that dissociates completely. What happens when acid and base reacts? Neutralization. There are four indicators which are litmus, universal indicator, metallorange, and thermophytolin. In litmus, if there is acid, it will turn red. If there is base, it will turn blue. In universal indicator, if there is acid, it will turn red, and if there is base, it will turn violet. In metallorange, if there is acid, it will turn red. If there is base, it will turn yellow. In thermophytolin, if there is acid, it will turn colorless, and if there is base, it will turn blue. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Eileen
My name is Michelle,
and I am Jessica.
and we are from JCB.
Today we will be explaining the typical acid reactions.
So,
Can you explain what neutralization and titration is?
Yeah, of course. Neutralization is basically any reaction that produces salt plus water. And there's a method to do this reaction. It's called titration. A lot of people get confused between the differences of neutralization and titration. But titration is the process or the method that you need to conduct in order to do neutralization. And if you want to do titration, you will need pipette, burette, a conical flask, and an indicator. So basically, neutralization is the reaction itself that produces salt and water, and titration is the method to do this reaction.
Oh, that's interesting. Now I will be mentioning the three chemical acid reactions. First, metal plus acid produce salt plus hydrogen gas.
Michelle, Jessica.
Is this
neutralization? Okay, so for the first equation that Jessica just explained, it is not neutralization. Why? Because remember, neutralization is a process that will result in the production of salt and water. In this case, there is no water, there's only hydrogen gas, so that is why it's not neutralization.
Second, base plus acid produce salt plus water.
Is this neutralization? That's right, it is neutralization. Why? Because it produces salt and water.
Third, carbonate plus acid produce salt plus water plus carbon dioxide gas.
What do you think? With the addition of carbon dioxide gas, it will still be neutralization. Why? Because at the end of the day, there's always salt and water.
That is all for me. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Hi everyone! Today we'll be explaining the two types of base reactions. First, Brenda will explain the first reaction, then I'll explain the second reaction.
So, what is the reaction of base? If you add acid and base, it will produce salt and water. For example, if you add sodium hydroxide with sulfuric acid, it will produce sodium sulfate plus water. And it is also a process of neutralization because it produces salt and water. The second example will be if you add base with ammonium chloride, it will produce salt plus ammonia gas plus water. The third example is if you add CaOH2 plus 2NH4Cl, it will produce CaCl2 plus 2NH3 plus 2H2O. Thank you. Now Michelle will be explaining the two other examples.
Okay, so the second example is NaOH, which is the base, plus an ammonium chloride, which is NH4Cl. That will produce salt, which is NaCl, plus NH3 and H2O, which is ammonia gas and water. And the third example is KOH, which will be the base, and also NH4Cl, which is ammonium chloride, which will produce salt, that is KCl, plus NH3, the ammonia gas, and water, which is H2O. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Max.
Today we're going to be explaining about basic oxides.
Basic oxide from group 1 and group 2 can react with acid, for example Na2O and MgO.
I'm going to be explaining about oxide. Oxide oxide is a non-metal oxide which reacts with bases, and the example is CO2 and NO2.
Hi everyone, I'm Amanda,
And I'm Teresa.
and today we're going to be explaining about neutral oxides versus.
Amphoteric oxides and their differences with each other.
So starting off with neutral oxides, they do not react with acids nor bases. For example, we use carbon oxide and N2O, also known as the laughing gas.
The second one we're going to be explaining is the amphoteric oxides. Unlike neutral oxides, amphoteric oxides can react with both acids and bases. Examples include aluminium oxide and zinc oxide. Some of the reactions include, for aluminium oxide, we have the reaction with acids. One of the acids that we're going to be using is hydrochloric acid. So Al2O3 plus 6HCl will result with the product of 2ACl3 plus 3H2O. And the second reaction for aluminium oxide is with a base. We're going to be using sodium hydroxide as the base today. So Al2O3 plus 6NaOH will result with a product of 2Na3AlO3 plus 3H2O. For zinc oxide, to react with a base, the same base which is sodium hydroxide, so zinc oxide plus 2NaOH will result to Na2zinc O3 plus H2O. And for the last reaction is zinc oxide with an acid, similar acid as well, hydrochloric acid. So zinc oxide plus 2HCl will result with a product of zinc chloride plus H2O.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.